Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to today's training. We're going to talk about 5 info products you can create in an afternoon. And when I say an afternoon, I want to talk a little bit about why I think you can literally do this in an afternoon. There's so many info products out there that people are buying each and every day that sometimes as a business owner, we already have in our arsenal, meaning or in our backpack or whatever you want to call it in our business, that we just haven't thought of in the context of packaging it up in a way that people will pay for it. Things that we use every day, maybe blog content that can be turned into an ebook. There's just so many things that we already have. Now, if you're a new business owner, you may say, well, I don't think I have any of that. And that might be true. So you might have to spend a couple of afternoons, but there's a lot of us that have businesses that we're doing specific things in our businesses already that we could potentially use. So we're going to talk about 5 info products that are easy to make and that potentially you can do in an afternoon. Hey, Sherry, as you guys are coming in, just give me a shout out. Where are you in the world? I see Sherry is in Dallas, Texas. So I got to ask. So I know it's hot in Dallas. So I am currently in Virginia. My home is in Tampa, Florida, which is hot there too. But there's just a whole different layer of hotness in Texas. Like, they all saying that everything's bigger in Texas. I think everything's hotter in Texas too. I'm just curious. It's hot here. It hasn't rained in like weeks. It's so dry. It's super dry. But I'm just curious, Sherry, what your weather is like. Okay, so let me say before I pull up my screen and start, we'll get with all of this. I've been doing a series of trainings over the past week, I guess, roughly, around digital products. Now, I'm super passionate about digital products and all the things that I share that are mediums for leveraging digital products to create revenue. I usually have them in my business in some form. So I have a lot of digital products or digital, not just digital courses, but digital products. I'll share some of those examples with you, but I'm going to share other people's examples too. So Sherry is saying, yeah, it is 27 or 97. And I bet you that it is like your heat index is probably higher than that. So Donna, what's the weather like where you are? She's in North Carolina. And I also would love to share or ask if you know anybody that would get value from this, that maybe is trading time for money, or actually any business owner that doesn't necessarily have even one digital product, or maybe even, the opportunity to have multiple digital products that can generate revenue for them. If you know a business owner, you can tag them, you can sprinkle it out into the world. Let's get some folks to join us, or they can always watch on the replay. And if you're watching on the replay later, just type in #replay so I know that you're watching on the replay, and in case you ask a question or something, we don't want to miss you. So Donna is saying it's hot and AC was out for 4 days. Girl, I am so sorry to hear that. Okay, so can you do this without a website? Yeah, you can, because you can sell digital products on Amazon, on Etsy. In fact, we're going to talk about that, and I'm going to just do a quick example of how you validate some of your ideas. See if anybody else is buying what you think you want to create. Okay, so let me pull up my screen real quick. And like I say, we're going to talk about 5 info products you can create in an afternoon. Let me get my mouse to cooperate with me. There we go. All right, first off, for those of you who don't know what a digital product is, now I know most do, so I'm not trying to insult anybody's intelligence by saying, if you don't know, but I think sometimes we don't understand how simple the delivery mechanism is for digital products. So basically, a digital product can be anything that can be downloaded, virtually. It can be an MP3, it could be a video of some sort. My favorite format for delivering content is a PDF, because basically it's universally recognized. It's one of those things that all the other types of content can be embedded in it. Like if you've got a video and you also have an audio file, or you have text you want to use, or imagery, all of that can be put into a PDF and delivered to your person. So you don't, like I say, you don't have to even have a website for that. Now, am I saying you don't need a website? No, but I'm saying you don't have to have one in order to sell digital products. So if you're just getting started and you're like, I need to do this, I know I want to do it, it's a great way to get started without the tech learning curve and the expense of doing your own website. So hopefully that answered your question, Gwen. That was a great question. So let's talk about some of the things that we can do. Planners. Now, I talked about this a little bit yesterday on yesterday's training, but I wanted to dig into it a little bit more. And I'm gonna open up Etsy, and I'm gonna show some specific examples, because planners are one of those things that a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people are purchasing. In fact, I was just in Barnes & Noble a few days ago, and I noticed there was a whole wall of planners and calendars and journals, things of that nature. And there are people who prefer to just purchase a printable and download them and, print them off and use them that way. It's a little cheaper for them. Okay, but enter the problem. How does that tie into my business? So I want to give you some examples of this. I'm going to pull up Etsy, and let's say, for example, you are a business coach and you need ideas. You're like, okay, I'm a business coach. How can I create a digital product that's going to matter to my person? Because just creating a planner for planner's sake, we don't want to do that, right? We want to make sure that if we're going to create something, our person ultimately is going to be interested in not only the planner, but potentially things that we might sell them later, right? Right? Yeah, right. So you want to make sure that you're not just creating something. You want to create something that is going to be specific for your person, so that long term you'll be able to sell them into other things that you have in your business. So if you'll take a look at this, what I got it pulled up here, I just typed in coaching planner just to see what pulled up here. And as you can see, there's just a bunch of different types of planners here. But what I want you to pay attention to is the reviews. So as you can see, this one has 1 review, this one has 221 reviews, this one has 2,500 plus reviews. Okay, so this is a power hour tracker. Now, when you're looking for ideas, you want to make sure, if you come to Etsy, for example, and you're like, okay, I'm a business coach, what can I create for my person that people are paying for? So obviously, now this could be brand new. I'm not saying this isn't a great thing. They could have uploaded it yesterday and they only have 1 sale so far. But something that has maybe been on here for a little bit longer, and I would speculate that, again, even though this has 5 stars, it has over 2,500 reviews. That means that at least 2,547 people have purchased this. But how many people have purchased it that didn't leave a review? Because I don't know about y'all, but I definitely buy things I know and I never review them. I bet you have too. But there's 2,500 people here who were good, and they did the work. They were like, this is such a great thing, and I want everybody to know it was a great thing. So that's an idea. That's a validated idea. In other words, you're like, if you're a business coach, you could do a power hour tracker or a power hour notebook, something similar, essentially. And there's another power hour, but it doesn't have any reviews yet. So the point of it is that you can validate ideas, get ideas if you want, by simply going to places where you can sell. I call these marketplaces, where you can sell your stuff with a pre-built traffic source. So if you're brand new and you don't have a big social media community, even if you do have a big social media community, you should always put your stuff in other places too, because again, these are traffic sources that you don't have to hustle for. You just have to make sure that, you can be found using the right keywords and things of that nature. So these, again, are great ways to validate the concept. If you were to look at, like, let's just do another niche, like, social media planner, for example. Type that in, same thing. Look, you'll find that there are definitely people, like, here's one social media planner, 3,000 people have said this is an awesome planner. Even at $2.42, if you do the math on that, and let's say don't get wrapped up too on the fact that these are low ticket things, because volume, it's all about the volume. But if you had multiple digital products and you were selling, 100 to 200 digital products a month at a low ticket price, that adds up. That's another income stream. It's $1,000. It's $2,000. It's $3,000. That is a part of your revenue, versus not having that money. That kind of extra money, it is substantial for a lot of people. And there are people whose businesses are solely this, meaning all they do is sell stuff, create things that make people's lives easier, and sell them on Etsy or Amazon or wherever. So anyway, just want to share that with you real quick. I'm gonna open up Amazon here in a minute. I'm going to show you a little about that too. But planners are super. You could do life planners. I know we talked about personal or business coaches, but there's a lot of people who are maybe not business owners, but they need help with their daily lives. There's people who need budget help. So budget planning. And let's say you're an accountant. Maybe a budget planner fits into your person. If they need help with their budget, that might lead them into higher ticket items for you. Organization planners, huge. Chore planners, like specifically when it comes to homeschooling families. I've seen a lot of people purchasing chore planners, because, and not necessarily just homeschoolers, but that's a big marketplace. Anybody that has kids might be, needing help with planning out the chores. Meal planners. Now, even with meal planners, you could like niche that down. Like, say you were like doing vegan, or any of the, like, quote unquote lifestyle diets, if you will. You could make them specific to that. Keto, for example, a keto meal planner. These are great things that I know would, one, tie into your business model, potentially, depending on what your business looks like, and ultimately get your person to spend more money with you. But they're also standalone revenue streams for you. So I'm just saying, hopefully I'm here to tweak everybody's interest and saying, I got to have this. I got to do this, because it's super easy. And it is. So ebooks. Let's talk about ebooks real quick. So I've always I've been online for 30 years. That sounds crazy when I say it sometimes, because it doesn't seem like it's been 30 years. It's been like a snap. But ebooks have kind of been around forever. And I almost got to a place where I thought ebooks were dead. Like, it's like, are ebooks like a thing? But they are a thing, y'all. And the readership of ebooks has really jumped tremendously during COVID times. And of course, that makes sense. People have more time on their hands, but it's up 30% in the past couple of years. Revenue, and this is where I really want to focus in on, because it doesn't, a lot of times when I think ebook, I think free content, but people are selling ebooks. So there's money that can be made with ebooks, and it's up $15 plus million, or I'm sorry, revenue in ebooks is projected to reach 15 plus million in 2021. So there is absolutely people spending money on that type of content. The number of readers is expected to jump from 117 million by 2025. So it's not just about where we are now, it's where we could be in the future. Is there a market for ebooks? Yeah, there is. And the average revenue per reader, meaning how many people are, how much per reader are people spending, is roughly $15, 15.48, or $15.48. So why an ebook? They're easily consumable. So people are, putting them on their Kindles, on their phones or their smart devices. And they're simple for us as the creator to create. They're a great way to build credibility and generate leads. And I'm going to show you some examples of that in a moment. And I'm always about the passive revenue. And wouldn't it be awesome if our ebook was a lead gen for things that we sold in our business? All right, so let me back up for a second. I'm going to pull over. I'm going to show you. I'm going to pull up Amazon, and I'm going to show you some examples. Now, somebody that I know, and I mentioned in a previous training, that does a lot of ebook content creation. Now, I want to plant a seed here. Ebooks technically, well, let me back up and say this correctly. Any book that is on Amazon has a digital, is in digital format, meaning, if you're self-publishing on Amazon, you upload a .pub file, which is, it's a digital file. And not only can it be a quote unquote ebook, but it can also be a book, because technically all books are uploaded in that format, whether you want to label it an ebook or whether you want to say, I wrote a book. Point being, you could be an author with your very own ebook. Boom. All right. So Mira is the gal that I was sharing with you earlier that I know does a lot of ebook content on Amazon. And so I wanted to share a couple of the ones that I see. So here's one, and she's not charging for this particular one. So this is, unless you pay for it in paperback form. So this is why I want to really keep circling back to what I just said. This is why this is so important. So she is creating an ebook. She's uploading it to the self-publishing platform on Amazon, and people can choose at that point whether they want to just, watch it, or read it for free on Kindle, where she's not charging for it, or they can print it off and have a physical book. So she can sell this 1 time, 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times, however many times she wants, and be an author in her own right with an ebook. Okay, so there's one. Here's another one. Same situation, 0 price points. If you were to download one of these and put it on your Kindle, you would notice that she has lead gen built into her ebooks. So sometimes there's a video or a landing page you have to go to get something that she's incorporated into the book. And now she gets somebody's email address, and then she can nurture that person and ultimately get them to sell or buy other things in her business. Now I'll go on down to ones where she is actually, you can see she's got quite a series of them here. Let's see. And let's take a look at some of the ones that are, let me see, where's the one? Right, here's one. So here's one. Now this is not Mira's book, but this is, again, let's pay attention to what the numbers tell us. A 1-page marketing plan, get new customers, make more money, and stand out from the crowd. There's over almost 4,700 reviews, almost a full 5-star rating on this ebook. And yes, it's also in paperback format, so they're using the self-publishing platform, but you can get it for free as well. And I would be willing to bet you, and it's also a bestseller, but I would be willing to bet you that this Alan Dibb has lead gen built into his book. Now, there's so many other things that you can do with ebooks right now that I think is powerful You can do, so there's some AI stuff. There's some cool things, incorporating some video and some other things. But I want to key in on why I said you can do this in an afternoon. So if you have um, blog content is like one of the best ways that I could think of that you could do this in an afternoon, where you could take existing blog content that's revolves around a specific topic, that, maybe a series of blogs that revolve around a specific topic, email marketing, and you've got 10 blogs around email marketing, that you could package up and organize it a little bit and turn it into a book, yeah, 65 ways to get more buyers than you can handle. I am probably going to put that on Amazon. I have a couple of others that I'm going to try as well. I have a series of content around digital products. I'm going to turn that into an ebook and put it on Amazon. So these are all ways that you can leverage the power of existing content, stuff that you already have, that you can turn into something very quickly. I'm all about, what do you have already? What have you created that you could package up, maybe, change the formatting a little bit, augment it, make it better, but not start from scratch. Hopefully that's making sense. All right, so let's talk about the third idea I have for you, which is templates. I cannot stress enough how these done for you solutions are like flying off the shelf right now. And, it could be templates are like, there's so many types of templates out there. And when I say templates and why they're so hot, is because they save people time and money and energy. And in some cases, brain power. Like sometimes I'll see things on Amazon, on Facebook, a Facebook ad, and I'm like, man, that is a super duper deal. And I wouldn't have thought of that, but I would like to have that. That's pretty cool. I need that. And maybe you've seen similar things. Maybe you've purchased similar things. But like, if I want to do a training on, email marketing, I'm like, okay, I got to build a PowerPoint or a keynote. So I need a template for that. Boom. I Google PowerPoint templates, and I usually will, instead of creating my own, or, I'll find one that I really like and I'll buy it. It saves me time, money, and energy and creativity. Like, I don't have to make my brain work at that point. Like, so PowerPoint keynote presentations are super big. Social media ideas, images, I'm going to show you an example of how I leverage that personally. Branding boards, there's a lot of people out there that struggle with putting the pieces together. So, pre-designed things, or templates that'll help them understand what they need. People love that stuff. Saves them time, energy. They don't have to worry about what pieces and parts they need. Ebooks, still technically you could do ebook templates, worksheet templates, checklist templates. They're all super hot. If you doubt me, go to Etsy and check it out. Resume templates, again, something that people need because they don't know how to format their resume. Think about it in the context of, what does your person need that will save them time, money, energy, creativity? What do they need that they'll be willing to pay for? And more than likely, you may already have some of these things. You may already have, things that you do. Checklists, for example. A lot of times I find that most business owners have a checklist for things that they do routinely. Well, guess what? Somebody else would probably love to have that. We have a SEO checklist that we use for my blog. It's a process, it's a system that we use. And it's hard won. It's like, it's one of those things that we've had to learn over the years. Like, what do we need to do to optimize our blog, right? That's incredibly value-based to somebody else. So my point is, you probably have things in your business that are exactly the same. They're incredibly value-based to you, but they'd also be incredibly value-based to someone else. Okay, so What is that? Why am I got weird things coming up on my screen? So, okay, I've obviously turned on some kind of something. All right, ignore the subtitles, y'all. I don't know how I managed to do that, but sales pages in a day. Things that you do that are routine that you could package up. That's what I want you to think out. Try to think outside of the box. What would that look like for you? And here's another great example of templates. Things like this is a series of emails. So email sequences, email rules, all kinds of different types of email scripts, if you will, essentially, email subject lines. People pay for these things because they don't have to think about that process themselves. They don't have to figure it all out themselves, and they're totally willing to pay a low ticket price for that particular thing. A couple of things that we've done, like I say, I have so many digital products that come in a variety of different things, but in the context of templates, we have LinkedIn cover image templates. We have some Facebook group tile templates. We have Pinterest templates, Instagram story templates. There's a lot of different templates that we have created and people love because they don't have to start from scratch. All right, systems. Let's talk about systems real quick. Now, I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again because people love things that save them time, money, brain power, creative power, all those things. If you can save people time and money, you're more than likely going to create a sale. So things that you do in your business, if it's a checklist, if it's a process of some sort that you figured out that you do to accomplish a certain thing. If these are the 10 steps you take to create a Facebook ad or whatever, people need to know those things. They don't want to have to go through that learning curve. So you can package up those things and sell them. Here's a business dashboard headquarters. This is a Trello board. So they've put all their processes. We use Monday.com for all of our processes. And I think that the things that we do in my business and the structure and the systems that we have created would be incredibly value-based. I could probably sell them for thousands of dollars and potentially get that for them. Just if I just took each one of those processes out and said, okay, I'm willing to sell this for, $47 or whatever it is. And that's what I want you to start thinking about is what processes do you have in your business, whether you're using Trello and honestly, you don't technically have to use a tool. You might have a checklist for something. I use the SEO example. There's so many things that we do in our businesses that those things are value-based to someone else that is 10 steps behind us. So here's another example. Digital product promo kit, sales page scripts, email scripts. Now this is an offer. Now I want to really focus in on this for a quick minute because normally this is where people get hung up. When they create something, they do a checklist and they're like, okay, I created my first digital product. Boom. I am so there. But this is the problem. You don't wrap it up and give them everything they need to achieve something. So if you just throw a checklist at somebody, they'll be like, okay, well, all right, I get that, but what do I do for this? And what do I do for that? So an offer like this is something that's robust and it affects a complete transformation for people. And that's what I teach in PDF to Profit course, which is all about making your offers or your digital product yummy. That's what I call them, yummy. How do you make them irresistible to your buyer? And that usually means you have to have a few sides and some bonuses to go with it. And like I say, I just wanted to point this out because this is technically more than just one thing. It's an offer. Here's an example of one that I have. we kept getting questions around how we set up our Facebook groups. And so we're like, we have the system for this. We do this, we replicate it every time we set up a pop-up group or every time we put up a new, open up a new Facebook group. So why not package it up and sell it? So I have a Facebook group challenge expansion kit. How do you set up the group? How do you, some templates for the cover, and then all our rules. So all of our rules that we use in every group we set up, they're copy and paste for somebody. So that saves people a ton of time, and they know exactly what it is that they need to do. And this sales, it's like a complete transformation. If I'm looking to set up a challenge group, or I want to do any kind of training and I want a Facebook group to support it, this is going to be invaluable to me, right? So, and you have these things in your business already. You just have to figure out how you're going to package the pieces and parts together. Okay, so another hot thing right now that has traditionally been free: workshops, masterclasses, challenges. And when I say workshops, masterclasses, and challenges, I want to lead you with what I call live training, because I think that's where the value is for somebody that's going to spend money on it. Everybody has gone to webinars, potentially you've gone to a master classes and they've all been free. But this is where I think we stand a chance at having content that people are willing to pay for, because when there's the value of, if you're going to do a free webinar, for example, if people don't pay for it, so often they just don't show up. They may register, but they don't show up. But when you get people to spend a little bit of money and there's skin in the game for them, they're more inclined to show up. So you are basically getting a more qualified person in your workshop or your masterclass or your challenge. And so I'm a big proponent of charging something low cost, $27 to $47 essentially. And then spending time live with people and answering questions. So I did a workshop called, 9 Steps to Optimizing Your LinkedIn Profile. Why did this work? So I want to talk about why it works so well. So many people are consuming content on the socials, and it's so much bigger now than it ever was pre-COVID. So Facebook alone has an average of 8 billion daily video views. And that's just Facebook. I'm not even going to talk about YouTube yet. But on average, each person in the US watches about an hour and 17 minutes of video a day. And many of those people are looking for educational content, where we can show up as experts and share our knowledge, right? Video is projected to account for 82% of global internet traffic by 2022. So I can't impart how impactful video is to us as business owners. And the best way to build the know, like, and trust factor is through video. I have found this to be true over and over and over again. If you are, wanting to move people to a buying decision, it is one of the best ways to get people to that place of a trust and say, okay, I'm willing to spend a little bit of money with this person. Which takes me back to one of the reasons I'm doing all of these trainings, pre-launch trainings for our PDF to Profit series, which starts Thursday. Class starts on Thursday. Let me tell you a little bit about it. So it's basically how you create your first mini digital product, or maybe your next. Or if you already have a digital product and it's not selling super well, then you probably need to package it. You need to make it yummy. You need to figure out what you need to put with it to make it irresistible to your person. And that's what I teach in the PDF to Profit training. Now, this training is different than a traditional course. So I do deliver this content live. So you come to class in a Facebook group. If you can't make class time, don't stress, because the content's recorded and you can always tune in later. But I have found that doing the live training really helps people from an accountability perspective and a getting or not perspective. So I find that more people are actually getting their digital products to the finish line and getting them to a place where they're sellable, or they're already selling them by the end of the 7 days, which is super powerful for, in my mind, because that's why I do what I do. I want people to actually do the work and get the result. But honestly, I want, for you guys, if you are going to create a digital product, you want the same thing, right? Or else you wouldn't purchase training courses to get the transformation you're looking for. But let's be real. A lot of times we buy things and we don't do the work, right? I've done it, and I bet you have too. So this the way I delivered the content is live, and you have a lot of accountability. You have a lot of people doing the same thing you're doing, so people give you feedback on your content, your ideas. It's just so value based, and it's super affordable. If you are wanting to do a digital product, you can't you lose out on this. So join us. We're going to be doing first class is Thursday at 11 a.m. And I'll be doing one more training. I'm going to do one more training tomorrow around printables, how you can make bank essentially with things that people print off. Now, I've touched on some of them as we've gone through this process, but I'm going to dig into it a little bit more tomorrow. So if that's something you're interested in, join me tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you wanted to create your digital product, something that people will pay for, that they're going to be like, that is just so yummy, I want that, and I'm willing to spend a little bit of money on it, then join us for the class, PDF to Profit. You can go to kimgarris.com/join PDF to Profit, and definitely join us. Wendy asked this question. So Wendy, in my opinion, this is a great place to start. And I'm not just saying that to sell you. When you're trying to figure out what people are going to pay for, and then actually create something, in this particular instance, just like somebody asked before, do I have to have a website? Do I have to have this, that, or the other thing? And no, technically you don't. You don't even have to have big communities, already, because these types of products are being created and sold on platforms that we all have access to that are free for us to use. So yeah, I think this is a great place for you to start. And this isn't like a massive digital product. I want to caution everybody. This isn't, hey, build a massive course and sell it for thousands of dollars. No, that's not what this course is about. This course is about creating what I call a mini digital product, something that solves one problem and can be delivered virtually to, ideally, your ideal client or your ideal customer, so that they'll long term spend more money with you on your higher ticket stuff. So great question. And if anybody else has questions, thank you. Paul was a previous student. So thanks for saying that, Paul. Let's see. Any questions? Ooh, great question. So what if you don't have a community or target audience, but know your industry? Same thing. I really believe that you don't necessarily have to have a community, or, like if you don't have a bunch of people that on your fan page, or you don't have a bunch of followers on Instagram, or, you don't have a community already, that's okay. As long as you know your industry, and you can create something for that person, then you can sell that in marketplaces that have your person's attention, or will get your person's attention. So that's what's so lovely about digital products, is you don't necessarily have to have your own audience. So when I say that, so there's that side of it where you can sell in marketplaces like Amazon or Etsy, places like that. But there's also the other side of this where if you are trying to build your community up, build your email list up. I'm leaning in, build your email list up. Then you can also use paid media. You can pay to put your offer in front of your target audience so that you can start building your community. All right. Well, I'm so thankful for those of you who joined us live. And if you're watching on the replay, let me know that you're watching on the replay, #replay. If you've got questions, you can either ask them in the comments or just send us a message. If you're on LinkedIn or YouTube or Facebook or wherever you are, and you don't want to put your question out there, send us a message. We'll be happy to answer any of your questions. If you're thinking, well, is this for me? We're really transparent, honest around here too. This course is not that expensive. It's $37. So it's like, it's one of those things. We're not here trying to make a bunch of money. It's more about how do we help people right now get to a place where they have their first or next, or potentially revise something they already have to get it to a place where they can sell it. That's ultimately my wish when I put the course together. So hopefully, thanks, Rose. Hopefully this did spark some good ideas for you. All right, you guys, listen, I'm so thankful when you spend time with me. I know time's valuable, so when you spend some with me, I'm always appreciative of it. And if you are interested in the thoughts of doing something around printables, then join me tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be talking about that. And that'll be the last official training. But I'm also going to give you a little insider. Nah, I can't tell that. I was going to say that. I better not tell you that. I'll tell you that tomorrow, okay? I'll tell you the insider secret tomorrow. All right. Well, take care of yourselves. Stay safe, and God bless.